Hi, my name's Steve Martile. All right, in this video, I'm going to talk about how we get triggered and what to do about it. Now, let me just start. What do I mean by getting triggered? What I mean by getting triggered is when something in the external world, some piece of information causes a disturbance on the inside. What do I mean by disturbance? A disturbance is an emotional or mental reaction that doesn't just happen in that moment, but then it ends up staying with you, which can lead to long-term anxiety, fears, just overall instability and lack of peace. Okay, so let me start this video by saying right out the gate that you're already whole and complete. You might not believe you are, and you have the tools to heal, by the way. You have the tools to heal in your body. You have the resources to heal, and you're already whole and complete. You might not feel that way right now, but I'm telling you from a point of experience that you are. The reason that you may not feel whole and complete is because you're not in a state of coherence, meaning that all cells are aligned. Coherence, as you've heard me say in other videos on my YouTube channel, is a state where you have an audience of say 100,000 people, and every person in that audience is clapping in sync. When your cells are operating at that same frequency of vibration and everything is in sync, you feel whole and complete. Now, you can get to a state of feeling whole and complete by the heart opening or meditation or being in nature. There's lots of ways to do it. The fact that we are not in a state of being whole and complete is due to our lack of understanding of what triggers us in the first place, which is why I'm doing this video. So just my first caveat right out the gate is nothing from this planet specifically or anything that you do, with other people is necessarily going to make you feel better. It's something you have to do for yourself, and you have free will to do it. So it's how you use your nervous system to create coherence. That's key. Now, let's get into what happens when we get triggered and what do we do about it. So the reason we get triggered is because we have, in a lot of cases, unresolved or unacceptance. We have a lack of acceptance around certain fears or information that cause instability or your mentally, so your thoughts or emotions, just like triggers of anxiety, like I said. So here's what to do when you get triggered. So the first thing is to recognize and be aware, like, what just happened? I was feeling really good, and then all of a sudden I'm feeling like conflicted. I feel like there's two parts of me. I feel like there's a split or a duality, or there's something missing in me. So, years ago, I think it was 15 years ago, when I went and did the landmark education training, I felt like something was missing. I felt like a part of me, something was missing. And then I started doing the training and the courses, and I felt coherent. I felt whole again. And as I felt whole again, I started to act differently. I started to feel more ecstasy and feel more joy in my life, right? But it's the state that generates the perception for me to see the possibilities. That's what made me start this YouTube channel, right? There was a lot of things that, because I was in that coherent state, that was like my perceptions changed, and all of a sudden the opportunities came to me, okay? So what I want you to start to grasp is the idea that if you can get into a state of coherence, it's the path of least resistance to everything that you ever want. And so to do that, one way to do that, or to practice if you want of doing that, of getting to this state of being coherent, right, where everything's aligned and you feel really good in your body, is to get aware of what's happening in your body. Here's one way to do that. If you go on a trail, and a hiking trail, or you're out in nature and you see a snake, okay, what's your first reaction? For a lot of people, it's they fear, right? Fear comes up. And then what I'm saying is, what happens right after that? Do you get consumed by the fear once you see the snake, or do you notice the fear and just become the observer to the fear? And that's a good example to practice, is like when something triggers you like that and you feel like, oh, is just to be aware. You're not trying to do anything with it. You're not trying to change it. It's like, be okay that you have a bit of fear. Don't do anything to get rid of the fear. Just be okay that it's there. And in fact, welcome the fear. Because what happens is once you do that, it dissipates and subsides, and then you get back to a state of fully presence and full coherence. And when you do that, then you end up being in this state of perceiving the world around to you in this coherent state. And that's really where things get really magical and things start to get easier for you. Now, there's couple other ways that you process these triggers. It could be boss at work that always, they say something, or you feel disrespected, and all of a sudden you get in this state and you're pissed, right? And the good news is if you're doing this practice of body awareness throughout the day, the example I gave was the snake. You see a snake, what do? It's like, just be aware. Just be aware of what's happening in you. Not so much of the snake, but what's happening inside of you. What's going on, and just and notice it, and don't try to change it or fix it. Just be the observer to it. So that's a practice, a daily practice. You can do that at any time, right? You can do it. See, the thing is, if you practice being in a state of body awareness and then something unexpected happens, you'll be more prepared because you'll be present to what's happening. But if you just go on your unconscious reactionary mode, the way you've operated your life, probably your entire life, then you'll miss the opportunity to grow from that experience. But if you're aware of the body and you go into it, that's why I always suggest you meditate first thing in the morning, because as soon as you come out of the meditation, you're in a state of being the witness. And then as you go throughout your day, you still want to be in a state of being the witness. Witness what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what's happening on the outside, what's happening on the inside. But you're just a witness. That's the real you. And as you practice that, what happens is you become more aware of the information that's aligned with that state of being coherent. Okay? Which is when you're in these states of joy and bliss and ecstasy, and life's good. You feel really good. Like all of the time. Until you get triggered. And then when you get triggered, then it's like a month later, you're like, I don't know what happened, but a month ago something happened, and then you got triggered, and then the heart closed, and then all of a sudden life's not so good. So what I'm saying is just get into a state of body awareness. Now, other things that you will do when you get triggered is, because it's just a form of the heart closing, is at night, you will unconsciously process those emotional triggers and wounds in your sleep through your dreams. Okay? Now, depending on the level of awareness that you have during those dreams, you'll be able to process them. And as you process them, you're letting go of them. So you're doing it in your sleep anyways, unconsciously. You can do it during the day with body awareness. And then you can do it through like very deep hypnosis or trance, which is what I bring clients through, to process insomnia, traumas, whatever. Like let's sort it out in an hour, which is what I tell most clients, which is what happens. In an hour, we've completely let it go. So what to do when you get triggered is to, as a general rule, is during the day is just have body awareness. Just start with that. Because what I can tell you is the more aware you are of your body during the day and how you're feeling, and I have a bit of like tension in my shoulder or a little bit of tension in my forehead. Like most people aren't aware of those feelings, right? Or I'm a little dehydrated. I should probably have some water. Just get aware. What happens is when you go to sleep, you become more lucid and aware in your dreams. So your dreams are helping process those triggers. And then again, when you wake up, guess what happens? You can go into a deep meditation and process those and let go of those triggers as well. So again, it's being aware of yourself during the day is very helpful throughout your sleep and throughout your waking day. And the more that you practice just being aware and just noticing, like again, I like the example of the snake. It's like, what happens when a snake pops out of the bushes or crosses the path in front of you? What happens inside? Just be aware. Just notice, just watch, be the observer to that experience. As you continue to do that, you'll get more lucid, but you'll also become more aware. And as you become more aware, other things will come up. It's like there's fears, but then there's layers to it where there's other layers and layers. And eventually you get to a point where it's like nothing scares you anymore because it's like you've let it all go. So now it's just about being in the present moment from a moment to moment basis, okay? So that's one thing you can do. I hope you found that useful and helpful. My name's Steve. My book's finally coming out this week, so you'll be able to get a soft cover and the Kindle version this week. And I'm actually talking to some foreign publishers about getting it published in other languages as well. So exciting news. And I got another book that I'm working on at the moment, but I will have a link to that this week in the YouTube channel so that you can check it out, buy it, and you'll be able to buy it on Amazon, Canadian Amazon, UK, like it's available internationally. What I will tell you is if you buy the book, you get the book, and you leave me an honest review on Amazon and send me a link to that review, I will send you a author copy that I will sign for you. So second copy, free of charge. I'm just looking for reviews, right? So if you want to leave a review of the book, an honest review, send it to me. And email it to me. I will send you a second authored copy of the book, okay, at no charge. Awesome. Thanks for watching, listening. Thanks for being part of the channel. If you enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. If you got other questions, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you and see how you're doing. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel before, please subscribe. Okay? Thanks again for watching, listening. My name's Steve, and we'll talk to you next time.